Hello and welcome to S24 Rundown. Okay. Hello and welcome to S24 Rundown. I am Zainab Ibrahim and here's our news in brief. To start with, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has declared 3 Senate seats vacant following the death of members of the 10th Senate. The vacancies affect the lawmakers representing Enugu North, Nasarawa North and Rivers South East Senatorial District. The announcement was made during plenary in line with constitutional provisions requiring the official declaration of vacant seats in such circumstances. Akpabio also directed the Independent National Electoral Commission to conduct by-elections to fill the vacancies within the stipulated timeframe. In another event, the Nigerian Labour Congress shut down the headquarters of Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, in Abuja, protesting the dismissal of about 900 workers. Union members staged a picket at the company's office, blocking access and disrupting operations while demanding the immediate reinstatement of the affected employees. The labor body described the massacre as unjust and accused the company of violating workers' rights. The NLC warned that the protest could escalate if the demands are not met, stressing that the action was part of effort to protect jobs and ensure fair labor practices. Next, Bauchi State has recorded at least 68 deaths from Lassa fever within a 6-month period, according to MSF. The humanitarian organization revealed that hundreds of cases were managed at the Lassa Fever Treatment Center in the state, highlighting the severity of the outbreak. Health experts noted that many patients arrive late for treatment due to the disease symptoms often being mistaken for common illnesses like malaria, worsening the fatality rate. MSF also raised concerns over the growing impact of the disease on both communities and healthcare workers, stressing the need for early diagnosis, prompt treatment, and improved awareness. And on the international scene, Britain King Charles III will visit the United States from April 27 to 30th. Buckingham Palace has announced, despite growing calls for the trip to be postponed due to tension over the ongoing Iran war. The visit, which will be his first to the U.S. as monarch, comes as a delicate time in relation between Washington and London, as President Donald Trump has criticized Prime Minister Keir Starmer over his stance on the conflict. Moving on to business news with Hadiza Galadima. Stay tuned and watch out.
Thank you, Zainab. Good afternoon and welcome to your first business briefing for the month of April. These are the headlines shaping the markets today, Wednesday the 1st. We are looking at a landmark day for the Nigerian banking sector, a shift in domestic energy costs, and a massive relief rally across global stock exchanges. We begin with a new era for the Nigerian finance. Today marks the official deadline for the CBN's 24-month recapitalization exercise. The banking landscape has been permanently reshaped as the industry successfully mobilized over 4.6 trillion naira in fresh capital. This move is a critical pillar in Nigeria's drive towards a $1 trillion economy. And in the energy sector, the NNDPRA has adjusted the domestic base price of natural gas effective today. Industrial and power sectors will feel the pinch as prices for the power sector will rise from $2.13 to $2.18 per 1 million British terminal units. Commercial users face a steeper jump to $2.68 per MMBTU. This adjustment, driven by Petroleum Industry Act, aims to incentivize production despite the added pressure on our debt-strained power grid. And turning to the global stage, markets are seeing a massive relief rally this morning. In Asia, Japan's Nikkei 225 jumped 3.9%, while South Korea's Kospi surged 5.5% on hopes of a diplomatic breakthrough in the Middle East. As the US dollar weakens, investors are moving back into equities and betting heavily on de-escalation of global conflict and stabilization on oil prices. Before we go, keep an eye on the national books as Nigeria's total debt stock is now projected to hit 155.1 trillion naira following the Senate's approval of a fresh $6 billion external loan. That's it on your business update for this afternoon. We will be joining Abubakar Turaki and Zainab Ibrahim for newspaper review after this break. Wishing you a productive start to the second quarter.
You should not even come near his gate if you don't have ADC membership card and if you don't have a permanent voters card. So this is to show you how fully prepared Senator Rabiu Musa is, and when he made that statement, they are going to flush out APC or what they said. I think this 2027 election is going to be something astonishing.
I think the preparation and confidence is not just from Conquest, it's also from the entire party of ADC. And it's kind of reigniting confidence in people. For us, not me, for people that are thinking that we are having just APC, the ruling party, as the only party for 2027 election. So the recent action from ADC is giving some kind of confidence that there will be a competition ahead of 2027 elections.
There will be a competition ahead of 2027 because if you look at what exactly happened in 2015, when most of the northern politicians came and united under APC, which actually they sent PDP out of the presidential villa. So I think maybe something like that may likely happen. And we already know that there is unity in strength. With the way ADC is getting more momentum, and one thing APC are doing, they are actually catching most of the state governors, because I think they now have 31 or 32 state governors. But what is exactly happening is the APC is catching the elites, while ADC are actually winning the heart of the masses. So look at this scenario.
Okay. So one thing I've learned so far from this recent situation is that there is no one party that lasts forever.
PDP actually ruled for 16 years.
Yes.
And APC cannot rule forever.
Exactly. So with this, we'll be going to the next newspaper headline. And this is on the Daily Trust front page. Tinubu moves for new loans. Debt hit 195 trillion naira. What would you say about that? I mean, the consistent borrowing of the federal government. And they kept telling us that this money are used for the citizens. But this is not getting to the grassroots. But we kept owing people. And this debt, trust me, is not just for the federal government, but on the entire citizens at large.
There is not any country that can at least survive without borrowing. Even look at America as an example. America is also borrowing. But one thing we need to understand, and one thing we need to put ourselves, like, why is this government borrowing? The borrowing is not bad. But if they borrow the money, are they willing to channel the money they borrow toward creating infrastructure, job, security, healthcare, or what have you? But my concern here is we don't have to borrow money and the money is going to end in one or two people buying cars, going to most of official trips that are not even relevant to what exactly happening in Nigeria.
It's so
and
sad,
here,
right?
before I land, before I land, this is to tell you that we have to call our lawmakers. To me, this 10th Senate of Godswill Akpabio, it need to do more.
Yeah.
Because I was even thinking, who exactly on the 10th Senate? Is it the Nigerians or the federal government? I mean the executive. If you look at the 8th Senate, the Senate of Dr. Ahmed Lawan, they have tried a little bit. And if you look at the 9th Senate, the Senate of Bukola Saraki, they have been trying in minimizing this conflict between the executive and the legislature. But what exactly happening in this 10th Senate? I think if not just because of Nasiru El-Rufai, so far Hababio have never rejected any proposal that came from the federal government.
You know, it's so sad that there are no checks and balance regarding this borrowing. Yes, before giving out another amount of money, there should be adequate documentation of what was used with the previous borrowing before even giving out another loan. But we will not be staying just on this. People will be going finally to our last headline, and this is on Vanguard, where they say Tinubu, Mutfwang, MBA vow justice. I think this is coming. This is an affirmation. It's coming after the unfortunate killing in Just, right?
Well, the killing that is going on in Just, I think we have to say Inna Lillahi wa Inna Ilaihi Raji'un, because in a broad daylight, you can't just come and be killing people without any iota of doubt, and you can go scot-free. So what they said, the federal government and the state government, what they are trying to do is a wake-up call and is a welcome development. I believe, you know, sometimes in leadership and politics, talking is easier than doing.
Exactly.
I believe with what they are trying to do right now, maybe we may likely see the light of the day here. But I also want to call on the federal government, the state government, and even the local government, because we have government, we have the tiers of government. We have the federal government, the state government, and the local government.
It is how comfortable it is for our political leaders to come out and apologize, to come out and make affirmation, to come out and make promises. We need actions. You know, these people, these victims are not even in need of these promises. You don't even have to come out making promises, making affirmation without action. So what is this affirmation on this newspaper? How is it making any difference to the killing in Just?
Well, for a democratic setting like Nigeria, at least our leaders, they have to come out and at least show a kind of like sympathy and empathy to us. So I think by doing that, they may likely calm the dust. Also, before I land, Nigeria is the only country we have. It is your duty, and it is my duty, to make this country a better place. If you look at what exactly happened in Rwanda between Hutu and Tutsi, the genocide that happened, I'm not praying for that thing to happen in Nigeria, but if care is not taken, now tell me single part of this country that is actually living in peace and harmony. If we go to the northeast is actually battling with Boko Haram. If we come to the northwest is battling with banditry. cattle rustling, and if you come to the North Central, the North Central is actually battling with kidnapping and some other. Are we really safe in this country?
It is only right that you say we pray this kind of thing does happen and it doesn't happen in our country, but it is not about praying, it is about taking action. We have to be realistic. If we don't take action, things like that are bound to happen.
Well, we have to be realistic, and this is actually coming at the right moment because we are heading to 2027 polls. So definitely it is our duty as Nigerians to make the right decision by electing credible candidate, by electing credible leadership that will actually do the needful. Because whether it is a democratic government, authoritarian government, a monarchical system of government, it is the duty and responsibility of every government to provide and protect the life and property of every citizen. I'm also urging and calling on the government that they should please do the needful. Nigerians are actually crying, and they should do the needful, please.
Yes, we are crying. I would have loved to continue this conversation with you. We are moving away from the affirmation to the state of political apathy in Nigeria. But I think we'll be drawing the curtain here on newspaper review, so we can move on to our next segment. And that's it on newspaper review. Up next is Political Arena with Abubakar Turaki after the break.
Welcome back from that break, and this is Political Arena with me, Abubakar Turaki, and I'm here with my guest, a security analyst, Dr. Yahuza Geso. Doctor, welcome to Political Arena.
Well done. Thank you for having me, Mr. Abubakar.
Thank you, Doctor.
It's been a great pleasure.
Yeah. Doctor, with the recent happening in Nigeria, if you look at Northwest, precisely Kaduna, and coming back to North Central, Jos, we have been seeing massive killing, massive attack, day in, day out. As a security expert, what can you say about the killings?
Well, security challenges available in the nation are more or less issues of complex circumstances in a situation whereby the general public have not really been providing the right expected participations. That is one. There are negligence from some of the personnel, even though there are many unscrupulous elements among them, as exposed from the number that have been apprehended. At the same time, the criminals who are committing the offenses can be grouped into four categories. One, economy. Two, political. Three, religion. And four, maybe as a result of external forces. Those external forces are measurable indicators that have signaled certain proceedings over time, which inability of some of the leaders, their inability to manage it accordingly, made it a kind of, gave it an enabling environment to have been promoted and kind of became a more dangerous and is becoming a more difficult to handle.
Sir, you made mention that negligence from the government.
Yes.
Don't you think that the government have been budgeting huge amount of money into the security sector in the country, day in, day out? They have been budgeting money, and some even state governors are even calling for the creation of state police. But you as a security expert, you are saying a negligence from the government. How is that possible?
As a journalist, I expect you to have the answer. However, I appreciate you for asking the question. Why? Because making the budget is different, releasing the budgetary amount is different, utilizing the budgetary amount is different, monitoring and tracking the budgetary allocated amount is different, assessing using a yardstick to measure the instrument of results The indices of result drivers is a different thing. So the question we need to ask ourselves, yes, of course, trillions, I think over 1,300 trillion have been spent so far, have been budgeted in the last 13 years or so. But where are the results? When I say negligence, you are promoting officers day by day, you are promoting personnel, and you are making recruitment. And yet, Mr. A is a divisional officer of a given divisional police office. Mr. B is a commanding officer of a military, army military unit or Air Force or Navy. Mr. C is a controller general of custom. Mr. D is inspector general of police. But do we really have results? Why people are still being killed? Who do we hold accountable? Who do we hold responsible? And how do we measure the performance of the personnel in terms of, is it in terms of the number of attacks? Or is it in terms of the number of total amount allocated or budgeted?
Doctor, I would agree with you.
Or by the number of reduction in the number of people that number of attacks that are being coordinated.
You have highlighted the issue of tracking the money spent on the security aspect, Doctor. But we have seen recently like, people from community from Borno State, most of them are going back to their communities. Don't you think that this is actually something to appreciate the government?
Well, no matter what, you must say thank you, not to the government alone, even to the troop in the field. About 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, I came back from 48 local governments in 5 states.
Where and where?
Of Jigawa, Yobe, Borno, Gombe, Taraba, Adamawa, and by extension, Katsina. And I have been to the most dangerous enclaves of the Boko Haram. And I have been to most dangerous areas of operations of Boko Haram. And I have seen the efforts being made by our troops in a situation whereby some of the troops, some of our Nigerian troops, at places where they are stationed, if I will be there, for you to give me $100 million, one sachet of water is better than $100 million at some of their positions.
But Dr. Actually,
simply because of commitment, because of dedication, and they are always working hard, and day and night. Go to Banki, go to Konduga, go to Kukawa, go to Michika, go to Maiha, go to Madagali. Yes. Go to areas of Mandara, go to the areas of Oba, go to some of the areas of Mubi, Hong Song, and go to some of the areas of Biu, go to the areas of Buniadi, Birmari, Gaidam, and many other areas.
Okay,
go there, go and see the situation there. Go to Alkaleri, some of the areas of Duguri and the rest of it.
What you mentioned here now made me remind me to something, Doctor. Most of the insecurity situation here are local. And state governors have been agitating for the creation of state police. But many Nigerians are actually raising eyebrow regarding to that. As a security analyst, do you think that it's high time for us to adopt that state police?
Nigeria have been talking about a state police, and I think we're just joking and deceiving ourselves.
Why?
Because where are the federal police? Let me ask 5 questions. Do we really have Nigerian police force, or we have something in black uniform? Do the personnel of Nigerian police force understand why they are Nigerian police force? How many police, both men and officers, understand the quantum, the context, the volume, the law that established Nigerian police force? How many of them understand? How many of them are reading and are really understanding?
So we have to start from somewhere.
I'm coming. I said I'm asking 6 questions. I only asked 3, and you are interjecting. So, and what have we really been doing in terms of reforming and translating and transmitting the Nigerian police force into the practice of the law that enacted the Nigerian police force? How many Nigerians, what assessment, what measurable indicator do we use in assessing the performance of the Nigerian police force, and what is the perceived results from the public feedback? And how do we use those feedback in order to revisit the issues and challenges? And what are we doing to rebuild the confidence and trust? How many Nigerians have trust on any Nigerian police force? Nigerians have lost trust and confidence on the federal police themselves. That doesn't mean when you have the state police, you are going to have a result.
Okay, Doctor.
We should understand the predicament and the challenges of having the Nigerian police themselves.
My last question in a nutshell, Doctor. And Nigeria is actually approaching 2027 general election, Doctor. As a security expert, in a nutshell, what are your calls to Nigerians, security-wise?
Well, my call to Nigerians can be itemized or can be described as a clarion call. That security is everybody's business, and all hands must be on deck for us to address the security challenges. And Nigerians, I ask for Nigerians to be wise enough
Doctor, I have to draw it.
to understand who is ready to take them into the promised land by taking the security matter serious. So they should know to who they will cast their votes.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for this insight. I think we have to draw the curtain of the program, and we hope to see you some other day, Doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And that is all on Political Arena. Thank you so much. And up next is our report and documentary from S24. Thank you for staying with us.
My dear people of Panshinkanke, Kanam Federal Constituency and that of Plateau State, I speak to you today not just as your representative, but as a son of the soil, deeply pained, deeply concerned, and fully committed to the protection of every life across our dear Plateau. What has happened to us in Plateau, particularly in Angoru Kuba, in Josnod local government, in Garga, Kanam local government, is not just a tragedy. It is a wound in the heart of our dear state. Innocent men, women, and youth, Christians and Muslim alike, had been cut down in a cold blows. Families had been shattered, and communities have been thrown into grief. Let me say this clearly, without fear or fame, that the blood that has been shed in Plateau does not belong to one religion. It belongs to the people of Plateau. This violence is not against Christian alone. It is not against Muslim alone. It is an attack on all of us as Plateau people. I stand today to mourn with every family in Garga, in Kanam local government, every household in Angoru Kuba, in Josnod local government, and every community across Plateau that has suffered one form of attack or another. Your pain is definitely my pain. Your grief is our collective grief. At this point, I must sincerely appreciate the Executive Governor of Plateau State, Barrister Caleb Manasseh Mutfong, for his prompt and decisive response. His immediate relocation to Angoru Kuba to commiserate with the people and calm tension at a critical moment helped to prevent further escalation. This leadership provided by the government deserves appreciation. I also wish to appreciate the national chairman of our great party, Professor Nentawe Yilwada, who demonstrated passion and solidarity by visiting Kanam local government area, condoling with the Emirates, with the Emir and the good people of Kanam local government, and presenting relief materials to the victims of Garga attack. This leadership is humanity. Even in this moment of pain, I must commend the maturity, restraint, and sense of responsibility demonstrated by the youths of Plateau, particularly the youths of Angoru Kuba and those of Garga, who despite the anger and provocation refused to take laws in their own hands. You choose peace over revenge. You choose unity over division. And for that, I am proud of you, and Plateau is proud of Plateau youths. To those who are now rushing to Plateau with divisive narrative, I say this: Plateau is not a ground for propaganda. Plateau is not a platform for excitement, and enough of that. We reject every attempt by any outsider, foreigner, or a cleric to twist our reality, to preach division, or to inflame tension on our land. If you truly care about Plateau, then speak peace. If you truly stand for justice for Plateau people, then support solution for Plateau people. If you truly believe in humanity, then unite our people. Do not divide them. We need voices that will support the effort of government, not undermine the effort that government is being put in place. We need leaders who will advise on solution and not amplify on the already existing tension. Let me reaffirm clearly and without ambiguity, I will always speak for Plateau and stand for Plateau. Whether the victims are in Garga area, in Angorukuba, in Mangu, or in Josau, or anywhere across our dear state, whether they are Muslims or Christians, I will never be silent when Plateau people are being killed, because every life matters to me. Every soul counts. Every drop of innocent blood demands justice, and will continue to fight for justice. To our security agencies at all levels of government, we appreciate you, but the call now is urgent. The time for decisive action is now. Our people must be protected. The perpetrators must be brought to justice, because the relevance of every government is the protection of life and security of its own people. My dear people of Panshinkanke Kanan Federal Constituency and Plateau State, let us not allow this pain to divide us. Let us not allow outsiders to define who we are. We are a people of peace as Plateau people. We are a people of strength as Plateau people. But Plateau must not break. Together, we will overcome this. Together, we will defend our unity. And together, we will restore peace to our land. May God comfort the bereaved, heal the wounded, and grant lasting peace to the people of Plateau and to Plateau State. Thank you for listening, and may God bless you all.
On January 3, 2026, a boat carrying more than 30 passengers capsized on the Yobe River while crossing from Adiani in Jigawa State to Garbi in Unguru, Yobe State. State emergency officials confirmed that 25 people died, 13 were rescued, and 14 remain missing.
Exactly around 7:48 to 8 o'clock p.m., we received a distress call from our local emergency responders that there was a boat mishap, specifically Ajiani community, to Garbai in Ngur local government area in Yobe State. So when we received the news, we learned that already the boat has capsized and there was need for emergency rescue. So of course, security agencies, the local government, the community volunteers, they are the first responders, while we mobilize our team from the neighboring LGA, local emergency management committees from the neighboring LGAs to go and join.
To Allah da ikonsa ba a samu masu ceto ba, sai da akwai mutum ɗaya da ya je kamun kifi.
They did not receive help early on. Fortunately, a fisherman who had gone out to fish heard their screams and raised the alarm. He made several calls. Rescue teams arrived between 1 and 1:30 a.m. We were able to rescue about 13 people, but sadly, we lost the others. We continued waiting and searching and gradually recovered 17 bodies.
These victims were ordinary people traders, farmers, commuters traveling on a route they use regularly.
So far, we have recorded 29 deaths and 13 people were rescued, reviewed in the hospital and discharged. From the deep dive assessment and reports we have on ground, there are still some missing persons, about 8 to 10.
This tragedy is part of a broader pattern across Nigeria's inland waterways. Over the past few years, several boat accidents have claimed dozens of lives in different regions, often involving overloaded vessels and inadequate safety measures. The repeated nature of this incident suggests systemic issues, not isolated misfortune.
The key challenges we have seen is negligence in terms of the abiding by rules by the canoe operators. It happens around 7:48. That means they have left the neighboring community much late, and by law, every time it's 6 p.m., no sailing should be on waterways. So by 7 p.m., they left in the night after the close of sailing. 2, there was an overloading in the boat. And 3 there was not a single life jacket. So that has compounded the whole challenge, and it has increased the risk of capsizing of the boat.
Most river transport in rural Nigeria relies on wooden boats. These boats are often handmade and maintained through repeated patching. They were not designed for modern demand or heavy loads.
That's a sad incident from Yobe State. Now to technology, innovation, and the digital world with me, Aisha Magaji. Here's what's shaping ICT from Nigeria to the global stage. In Nigeria, businesses are increasingly integrating artificial intelligence to improve operations and consumer experience. Startups are leveraging AI tools to drive innovation across sectors such as finance, logistics, and communication. However, challenges including infrastructure gaps and limited data policies across African countries are slowing down the development of artificial intelligence on the continent. These regulatory differences makes it difficult for companies to scale solutions and share data effectively. However, AI adoption continues to grow across Africa, particularly in fintech, communications, and data services. Experts are warning that artificial intelligence is increasingly being used to create misleading and fake content online. These include fake news, manipulated videos, and deceptive information, making it harder for users to distinguish between real and fabricated content. Authorities say this trend poses serious risks to public trust and information integrity worldwide. Security analysts say artificial intelligence is now being used to develop more advanced cyber attack and digital scams. These AI-powered threats are becoming more sophisticated, targeting individuals, businesses, and institutions globally. Experts are calling for stronger cybersecurity systems and increased public awareness. Major technology firms, including Meta platforms are significantly increasing investment in artificial intelligence. These include development of advanced chips, cloud computing systems, and large-scale data infrastructure to support next-generation AI applications. There are also emerging discussions around building space-based data centers to meet rising global demands. Authorities are warning that cyber criminals are using artificial intelligence to carry out more convincing scams. These include phishing attacks, identity fraud, and automated deceptions techniques that are becoming harder to detect. Experts advise users to remain cautious and adopt stronger digital security practices. These innovations are being applied across many sectors, including healthcare, education, and scientific development. Martha Chidebere is on standby with entertainment updates. This is ICT World.
Welcome to Entertainment News. We begin with Afrobeat queen Tiwa Savage, who is currently trending after delivering a performance live on stage that has fans buzzing across social media. Her vocals, confidence, and commanding stage presence once again proves why she remains one of Africa's biggest music exports. Moving on, Arya Star, who is building anticipation online after teasing snippets of unreleased music. Fans are already excited, with many suggesting if she may be stepping into a bold new era of her sound and artistry. Next, we have global Afrobeat sensation Rema, who continues to make waves internationally, breaking yet another streaming record. His music remains a dominant force on global charts, further solidifying his place among the industry's leading stars. And finally is another development. Streaming giant Netflix is reportedly expanding its investment in Nollywood with more original Nigerian productions in the pipeline. This move is expected to open up greater opportunities for local filmmakers and creatives. And that's it on Entertainment News. We'll be going on a short break, after which Samira Usman will bring you updates from the sports world.
Welcome back from that break. Here is your latest sport update for today from across Nigeria, Africa, and the world. In global football, World Cup qualification drama continues to unfold as Iraq secured a historic return to the tournament with a 2-1 playoff victory, ending a 40-year absence. Meanwhile, DR Congo also booked their place with an extra-time win, marking their first appearance since 1974 and adding an African presence to the global stage. Staying with football, attention in Europe is on the women's game as Chelsea FC women prepare for a crucial UEFA Women's Champions League clash against Arsenal women. Chelsea are airing to overturn a first-leg deficit, while Arsenal coming strong from basketball, setting up a high-skate counter. In basketball, the momentum continues to build toward the climax of NCAA March Madness, with the women's Final Four now confirmed. Top seeds including UNCON, UCLA, Texas, and South Carolina have advanced, underlining the dominance of elite programs in this year's tournament. Across the National Basketball Association, the playoff race is intensifying as teams battle for postseason positioning. With only a few games left in the regular season, every result is becoming decisive in determining playoff seedings and qualification scenarios. In baseball, the Major League Baseball season is underway with strong early performances. Japanese superstar Shohei Ohtani impressed in his first outing of the season with 6 scoreless innings, highlighting his continued impact on the game. In motorsport and multi-sport action, today's schedule is packed with fixtures across basketball, tennis, golf, and more, reflecting the intensity of the global sport calendar. From domestic leagues to international competitions, fans have been treated to a full slate of events across continents. And let's go to boxing, a major commercial development in shaping the future of the sport, as most valuable promotion signed a multi-year broadcast deal with Skyport, focusing on elevating women's boxing with global fight cards and increased visibility for female athletes. Looking ahead, football qualifiers continue to shape the lineup for the 2026 World Cup. March Madness moves closer to crowning champions, and playoff races in the NBA and other leagues are set to intensify further in the coming days. That's your sport update for today. Up next is our S24 Pidgin News with Hadiza Galadima.
We apologize for that glitch. Thank you, Samira, and now welcome on top our PJ Tori segment, where we drop quick gist on top what's they happen for inside and outside Nigeria. And we begin with Senate Presido, we don't declare 3 seats vacant. Sorry, I apologize for that. We go start with Senate Presido Gospel Akpabio, we don't officially talk, say 3 Senate seats done day empty. This one happened because of the death of the lawmakers who been they represent Enugu North, Nasarawa North, and Rivers Southeast District. Gospel Akpabio talk, say this one day in move in line with the law, as if say once person don't permit, they will suppose declare the seats vacant. You can give INEC orders, say make them quickly arrange by election for those areas so that new people fee enter the Senate. Right now, political parties don't they sharpen their mouth to nominate who go run for the position. Now for inside another matter, Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, don't lock the head office for Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, for Abuja. The reason we say AEDC don't sack about 900 workers just like that. The union people block the entrance. They shout and protest, say make the company carry the workers come back work sharp. NLC contact say waiting AEDC do no pure at all, and you go against workers' rights. They won't say if the company no change their mind, the protest go big past this one, as they must protect people's job. And this one they come for inside Bauchi. Bad news don't land as Doctors Without Borders, MSF, don't talk, say at least 68 people don't die from Lassa fever inside just 6 months. MSC say many people they come hospital late because they think say na malaria they worry them, and that one they make the matter worse. They can advise say make people they go hospital quick once they feel anyhow, and make the government increase awareness so that the sickness no go spread reach health workers and the community. And last for Obodo Igbo gist, King Charles III of Britain will visit United States of America from April 27th to the 30th. Even though many people they tell him say he supposed to postpone the trip because of the war where they happen for Iran. Buckingham Palace talk say the king will still go. This trip will happen for a very tight time because President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Keir Starmer know they see eye to eye where because of how they handle the conflict. That's now how we will take wrap up today's news. Thank you for staying with us on top S24 Rundown. My name is Hadiza Galadima. I go live now with my person will be Zainab Ibrahim. Zainab Ibrahim, I leave my people for your handle. You're welcome.
I got you covered. It's so interesting how you translate all of those news into Pidgin English.
Pleasure.
We've come to the end of the story, but before we go, there's a breaking news coming from Kuje Area Council because a curfew has been imposed in Kuje Area Council effective immediately. The affected areas include Wowo Garage, Tuchibiri, Shadidi Village, Shetuko Village, and Kango Village. Residents are advised to stay indoors from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. to avoid any inconvenience. This directive was issued by the Security Council of Kuje Area Council, urging citizens to cooperate and stay safe, as further updates will be provided as more information becomes available. With this, we'll be rounding up the S24 News Rundown. Do join us tomorrow, same time, as you follow us on all our social media platforms at S24 Television. My name remains Zainab Ibrahim.